I think the single biggest turning point in my life, though, and this is now not really music related, this is radio broadcasting related. I I was like an on-air overnight radio announcer for a couple months, and I did some other stuff. That the overnight stuff wasn't my main hustle. It was I was on the promotions team, and my coworker Claudia, like who we hung out in the office, she was the copywriter, and she was like, "Hey Jet, if you're looking for some stuff to do, I've got some commercials that I need to get written. If do you want to take a stab at it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I wrote some, and they really liked them, and they went to air. They got recorded in the studio and were actually made public. And when I lost my job, I put together like an on-air demo of me talking, doing my announcer voice stuff. But then I also put a demo of the commercials that I'd made of like my copywriting work. And I'd applied to hundreds of radio stations all across Canada, and the only interview I got was for my copywriting. And so we went all the way to uh this one really small city in the middle of nowhere. It was like a 3-4 hour drive to get there, and I ultimately didn't get the job, but it completely changed like my trajectory on life, and it made me think like, oh, if I'm good enough at writing this type of stuff, maybe I should go pursue that instead. And that's how I ended up going back to school for advertising. That's how I ended up meeting Steph at school in advertising. That's how I ended up uh, seriously pursuing the blog. That's how, like, all of this stuff in my life, I can trace back to that one point of, like, had I not gotten the job, all of this happens. But if had I gotten the job, like, maybe something completely different. I'd be, like, in the middle of nowhere. I would have met completely different people. A lot of the relationships I would have had would have been different. Who knows? So yeah, those are two major turning points in my life. I'm sure if I thought about it, I could think of more. But I don't know. Do you guys have any sort of like moments in your life where you're like, man, had something broken differently, my whole life would have changed.